with children since 2005, age 6 to 12 in etiquette, but I also have a license for business etiquette also. And so far, I've just been working within the ministry, but I'm trying to get more in the public, and I'm just trying to obtain some information so I know how to get out there.
As well as just to be able to learn from each one of you, because I believe you always can continue to learn if you don't know all. So I'm just trying to learn more from each person and find out what other things I can do.
Good morning.
To make
Excuse me.
what I do.
My name is Markeith Braden, and I am a speaker, coach, and soon to be, hopefully, author before the end of the year. And I'm here just because I call myself, or consider to be, an infopreneur, where I learn and then I share. And I'm here also because of the networking opportunities, because I believe that you must surround yourself with like-minded people so that you can have some encouragement when you may be down. So that's why
I'm going to start my own business one day, and I'll tell you what I want, and then we'll move forward. This is what I really just, you know, if there is anything that they say, we got all these options out here that you can use, or you can get what you actually want, and I can go through a buffet of options and then pick. I want every person in this room to be successful. Of course, you are the person who defines your success, but whatever that is, I would like to partner with you, figure out what it is, and push you to that threshold. That's what I want most. So I really don't get caught up into monetary, the numbers and all of that, because for me, if you are feeling good with what you're doing, you're going to start making mistakes. So that's a bystander, or a byproduct of it. So what I really want you to do is I want your beauty shop to start bringing in people. And you say, you know what, I don't even have to be in there anymore unless I just want to do hair, because I can be in executive offices making sure things are working. I want you to say, this cycle is broken, or whatever it is, and I'm about to move forward into one organization and move forward. I want you, as your Avon representative, to say, look, if I'm really going to do Avon, I'm going to push it, and I'm going to make sure everybody is under me, is getting educated, and they're moving forward. In your etiquette, I want to make sure that whatever you're doing as a nonprofit, don't just get caught up in the nonprofit thought process of I can't make money and this got to be real small and has to. No, I want it to be cutting edge. If you want marble floors in your place, so you can show the kids, look, this is actually a real silver, place setting, all of that. You get what you want out of yours. In 5 links, whatever you're doing, because of that tier process of how it is, I want you to be that person like in the Take the Stairs booklet that it has, where it talks about the lady who had 2,500 individuals under them. I want that to be similar story to you, that you say, look, I only have to spend 2 hours a day doing this because I am so structured and so focused on what I'm doing. So when my time is put in, I make it work for me. For your networking process and for all the things you want to get out of this, I want you to be able to say, look, I left this place and I came in and got what I wanted out of it. And I made some great contacts that's going to help me not only just now, but 10, 20 years from now. Same thing with you, because I know what you're saying about you're being a speaker, you're doing this, but at the end of the day, you want to be able to walk into a place or go into a city or go into something and say, look, I need to make a call. Can I use you as a resource? And that lasting relationships happen here. Same thing with you, Mr. Joe Coleman. I want you to move from where you are, making someone else rich, to making yourself very profitable. Because you know what you do on an everyday basis. But I want you to know it and move forward in your own thing, so that somebody else is working for you, because everybody doesn't have the mindset of an entrepreneur. But if you do, and that's what you want, then I want you to have it. You, Miss Renee, I want you to come out the shell and do what you want to do most. If behind the camera is going to be a business for you, then I want your posters to be up throughout the city. I want booklets. I want websites. That's what I want so dearly for you. Mr. Bond, I want there to be speaking, publishing, conferences around the nation, because you are not just housed in Nashville, Tennessee. You are now worldwide. So, what I want most, I want you guys to be successful. I'm when you was in school. Am I correct? You ran track. You had a coach, didn't you? And that coach told you that running in a 40, if you're doing 4.8, that may not have been fast enough for you. Okay? Anybody who played any sport, the coach didn't say, mate, you okay. You good. You don't even have to come practice today. He pushed you and pushed you and pushed you. Okay? And so that's what we want to do within here. We want to push each other. But we have to first start off by finding out where we're going. So, I'm going to turn this light down. I know we can see it a little bit, but I'm going to turn it down. Nobody's going to go to sleep on me. All right. So, what I love about this slide, and it's funny because like minds think alike, Clint said he had this exact slide. Everything, you can kind of see it, but it's not in focus. It's not in focus. And that's where your life is. Our lives are. Is that there's so many things going around, but you gotta focus. You gotta put on the blinders. So, I think that's a great starting point for where we should start this business forum. I really want everyone over the next few weeks to start figuring out what you want to focus on. So we have this end result of I'm going to be great, I'm going to acquire property, I'm going to open this up, blah, blah. But what I need to do is bring that into focus. Because there are some contracts you don't need to take because it's going to take you off course. There's some clients that you just don't need to take. There's some people who are going to want to be on your team and you can't have them there because you have a focus. So, by defining vision, we're going to do an exercise in just a second. But I know we see this, but you guys, give me some ideas of vision. Give me a definition. What do you think vision is? Yes?
Something that you can define as measurable.
Okay, something that's measurable. All right? Kind of broad.
Direction.
Direction. Okay. Anybody else?
It's like you seeing yourself in the future doing something, and then you build toward obtaining that very thing.
Fantastic. Anybody else? I like that last one. I also like this definition. An imagined idea or a goal toward which one inspires. Carmen may be, and probably Tim, may be the only ones that can possibly attest to this story. When I was working in the nonprofit sector, I started doing pretty good, and the organization started doing well. And so what I said is, I'm working hard. And so I started developing this. If I work hard, I'm going to play hard. So I remember one day I just said, I've been working too hard, I'm going to San Diego. That was just random. I hadn't got a plane ticket. I hadn't got a hotel. Nothing. Just, I want to go out there. I've never been. Now, how many people believe that I just went to the airport and said, going to San Diego, give me a ticket? Okay. I had to start doing something, didn't I? Had to do some planning. But you know what? San Diego was the destination, wasn't it? Right. That was the destination. Now, how I got there, I didn't figure all that out. But I said I'm going to San Diego. And that is exactly the way it is with a vision. Once you get in your mind what you want to do, then you have to start doing planning steps to do it. Because you can't plan for something if you haven't put it in your mind to project. Okay? So, here's a question. How much does it take to project a vision or a focus? Or to focus on it? How much?
Takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time. Okay.
It doesn't take much to get a vision, but it takes a lifetime to be focused on it, to achieve it.
I like that answer. Anybody else? How many people have a job? Like you're working a job. Okay. Now, how many people, to the contrary, said, I don't have a job, I just wake up and I provide a service every day and I love it. And it just happens, people pay me for it.
Not there yet.
I knew the hands would be few. Because when you're trying to work on projecting that vision, you want to get to the point where it's not a job.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go. So, I love what you say that it's not that hard to envision, but it takes a lot of time to do it. And I love what you said about it takes some time, but I didn't hear anybody say it takes some money. No, it doesn't. That's what's amazing about it. All of this is right here. You don't pay your brain or pay somebody for you to use your own brain. It's yours. You can go to Africa. In here, you can do it. So you don't even have to use funds to get to where you need to go. In your brain. That's what you need. That's what's so amazing about this. So everybody has right now the ability and the tools in this room to get to where you want to go. Right now. All you got to do is tap into it and use it. And then you start the planning process. Now the planning process, that may take some money and some other things. But right now we're talking about vision. Alright. So, I got this exercise. Fantastic. Okay, not vision. That's going to be my policy. Alright. Stay right there. I'm going to take him out, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you the directives that I gave him, okay? Take him out the room, whatever he is. Y'all see him out there? Yeah. I know you're being cool. Can you just make sure you don't run into a wall? Right. So now this is the directives. This is the directives. I told him, I asked him could he see? And he told me no. I asked him could he hear? He said he couldn't hear me, but he could hear the music. That's nice music playing. I'm going to get wherever I can find it. Okay. I would like to do so hold this. So, just hold it up like this. I'll put it in this hand though. Put it in this hand. And just hold it like this, okay? Alright. Now, what's gonna happen is it's his objective to find that bill. It's his if he finds it, okay? He has 3 minutes. Alright? I'm gonna open the door and I'm gonna let him meander through. The idea is for him to find it. Alright? You guys, if he asks you some things, you can only talk like this. Okay? You can only talk like this. Because he needs to be able to find it. He needs to also understand how hard it is. Okay? Got it? Alright. Tell him to go forward. Alright. Leave him alone, Joe. Leave him alone. Don't let him knock over. Yeah.
Am I supposed to be doing something?
Oh, this is beautiful.
He's supposed to be finding something.
Oh, this is, I'm gonna love this.
Start walking.
Take your blindfold off.
That would just negate the whole thing.
Adrian,
Walk slowly, walk slowly, walk
I'm
slowly.
supposed to be looking for money right now. Y'all don't let me hurt myself.
Walk slowly, walk slowly.
I'm just saying, it's cold, warm. Oh Lord, I'm touching people. Y'all don't let me touch wrong places.
Help him out, Joe. You gotta make sure you don't just let him hit nobody in the face. This should be
Sorry. Y'all watch out. Watch out. I'm hot. Give me my money. Is it in the pot again?
Way higher. Apparently he can hear.
I want to touch
Don't touch.
Yeah, what hurt yourself.
To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right.
Come on, man, you got 1 minute left. Come on, come on.
Turn back around.
Turn around. Right, keep going. Up.
Turn around. Turn to the right. Okay, right there, right.
All right. That's awesome. You take it off. That was wonderful. Very scary too. All right. It's like, I'm so sorry. Tell your husband. All right.
As he kept touching.
Like, I am so sorry. All right. So I did that for a reason. Of course, that's the exercise, and that's totally yours, brother. I need you to speak to how hard it was.
It was very difficult and embarrassing and isolating. To stand there with no vision, not knowing what I was supposed to be doing at the time, thinking about how silly I looked standing there, like just standing there. Then it hit me, kind of having a little bit of understanding. It kind of hit me that this is kind of what we do. Like when we don't have vision, we just stand there and do nothing. So I was like, well, let me get busy moving, because I know you said, once I go in to start looking. So I was like, well, I should get busy. So that's when I started moving. But still, it's kind of scary thinking about what I might hit, who I might hit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Y'all give him another. The reason why at first I was like, oh, this is beautiful, because I told him specifically, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have some money for you. You just gotta find it. And he was like, well, I'm supposed to be doing something. I was like, oh, really? So the idea of him being isolated, I like that word, isolated, because there are going to be some times when people are not going to understand what you're doing. It's just not. You have this vision and they don't have it. They just don't have it. And you say, I want to do this, this, and this. Yeah, you look silly. You sound crazy. At the end, he got his what? That I would love that I would have loved that he had done. Is he didn't say, can somebody come up here and help me and walk me over to it? You're going to need people. Because though there's, you don't have all of the answers, you don't have to hook up with some people. The music apparently wasn't loud enough, because it was supposed to be enough where he could not hear what was going on. So even when y'all was saying hot, cold, he wasn't really supposed to be able to hear that. And the reason why I say this is because I'm using this statement right now. If they can do it, let me make sure I'm not right. What's the other side? I can do it. I know what that person is right there.
Stevie Wonder, look at him.
He gets on. Great job. Yes.
Do you mind me if I make an observation?
Call me. Yeah.
Okay. When Tim walked in, there's something that he said that is contrary to what you just put on the board. Because when Tim walked in, he said, I didn't have vision. He should have said I didn't have sight.
Sight.
Because
Yes.
you gave him the vision,
Yes.
which was
Yes.
the money.
Yes, I'm glad you caught
And
it.
it reminded me, when you walked in and you stood there, because you didn't have sight, it reminded me of MLK's quote that real faith is taking the first step without seeing the whole staircase.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't have sight, but he did have vision.
Yeah.
And he stood there for a while. And that's what I was just sharing with you, that fear sometimes will have you just stand there
Yeah.
instead of taking that step. And we will confuse not having sight as not having vision.
Right.
You had the vision.
Yeah.
You just couldn't see all the potential challenges and obstacles,
Yeah.
which is typically what hinders us from moving
Yeah.
because of what we can't see. But the vision is always there.
Yeah. And the inspirational part as well as the spiritual part is that most of the time.
You give them a dollar.
The amazing part about that is it works both inspirational and spiritual. They both move hand in hand. Is that God oftentimes gives you what the end result is, but He's not going to tell you all the people you're going to fight in the process. And the same thing about if you say, well, look, I don't believe in it, but I'm very, look, inspirationally, you do the same thing. So you get the end result, but you don't know all the steps. And I pulled these three people up, but I'm really going to talk about Helen Keller. How many people know about Helen Keller?
Yeah.
This is an amazing story, right? I mean, if you can't talk, you can't hear, and you can't see, somebody be like, man, you just up the river. I was reading about her frustration about when she got ready to get started. She was so frustrated. I mean, I want to communicate in some kind of way, but I can't even hear you. Some people can at least hear, and they just can't enunciate the words. But she couldn't hear and she couldn't see. So the person that they brought, her parents brought forth for her to move forward in that process, they said, this is what we're going to do. We'll get you with this person. This person is pretty good. She started touching things. And then what she would do is read the Braille and then touch the things. And when it finally clicked that she could make the correlation between the two, in her mind, she now had a picture that she never saw. Isn't that amazing? Her mind made a picture of something that she never visually saw. So if it was a cell phone, they're saying this is a cell phone, but you never saw it a cell phone. She touched it and then she got so excited and said, teach me more. Now everybody else would be like, okay, that's great. Now you've learned how to communicate through Braille. And some people get satisfied with that. She said, I now want to learn how to speak because I can't. And as the record shows, she became an activist for many women's rights, for disabilities, and she went all over the world speaking and receiving awards. So, this, you can't say, I don't have. Because if they can do it, we can do it. Anybody know who this guy is?
Look at you. No, it's not.
Alonzo Herman. I've been on Alonzo Herman for a minute. I'll rush through this really quickly. Alonzo Herman was in the slave era. He was born a slave. At age 7, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, and he now was a free person. Okay? Now, you know they gave him the option, you can stay on or you can go. He chose to stay and work for the person that he was with. And they paid him an equivalent, I think it was like 30, 50 cents or something like that, a month. They were paying something low. So let's just say $30 a month. Really? In today there. But you know what he did not do? He didn't say, man, that is not enough. I can't do anything. I'm gone. Because he had vision. So when he started doing his working during the morning time, and then he started cutting hair in the evening. And he got good at his craft. So everybody was coming to get a fade. Everybody was going to get a line up. Everybody was coming to get theirs. Nice. And so he started building change that way. Then he started asking questions. You know, this barber thing is okay, but it's not making me enough money. So he said, what can I do to get my hands on things that people want the most? And that's what started his cycle. So he started finding things that people wanted the most. He would grab it and then he would sell it up, which is what most people do. Business people do. So then he put in his mind, I'm moving to Atlanta, Georgia. And everybody was like, what's that? He said, it's a great opportunity for me. And what you gonna do there? I'm gonna make the best barbershop that was ever made. What? A barbershop? Yeah. And as the story has it, he literally had people coming in just because they wanted to see the barbershop. Now, yeah, they were getting a haircut. But see, he had these wonderful mirrors, beautiful floors, this plush seats. You know, it would be like today having a flat screen TV, you know, nice couches, you know, marble floors, all of this. Because it was now not just about the haircut, it was about the what? Experience. So I want you to experience this when you come in to get your haircut. And because of it, it made him very wealthy. So then he realized, I got wealthy, but I have not been able to give back. And because I have not been able to give back at the manner that I want to, besides just cutting people's hair, then I need to do something else. So what happened was a church, actually 2 churches, were about to go into bankruptcy. And the government at the time was going to take it away from them. And they said, you haven't paid your dues, this church is about to go back, and it's going to be government property. And he found out about it. And he said, you know what, I'm going to front you the money. And he was like, we are so grateful and indebted to you. He said, I'll take care of this. You guys keep your church, and what will happen is you pay me back when you get a chance. That struck something in his mind. He said, you know what, I feel good about this. So now, what I'll do is I'll move into fronting people money. Well, you know, we call it insurance. And that's what he called it. And the actual name that he did, he called it, I think it was Atlanta Family Life Insurance. My page has been changed. But it was a long name. It's now called Atlanta Life. Atlanta Life Insurance Corporation. And so before he moved to build that all the way up, he started acquiring properties. And he started doing it. But he did something that was amazing. He's now in the era of time that he's giving back. He said, I'm going to build this corporation. It's going to be huge. They said, how are you going to do that? And how are you going to pay everyone? He said, I'm going to go to the universities. But I'm going to go to the black universities. And I'm going to go to my Howards. I'm going to go to my TSUs. I'm going to go to my A&Ms. And I'm going to get those individuals that are interested in business, and I'm going to teach, coach, and train these individuals, and also pay them at the same time. And I'm going to build my corporation. He became Atlanta's first black millionaire. And if you drive through Atlanta, I can't remember which school it is, but one of the stadiums are named after him. There are other places named after him because of it. In assets and money, Atlanta Life is the 3rd biggest insurance corporation in the nation. It's a black man because his family, he kept living. That's vision. If they can do it, you can do it. This guy left his house with $11. And he, his family, and his family's family will now have billions of dollars. So be a part of the minority. 38% rate for success in the informational fields. These are the numbers. And you know what's amazing? It does something wonderful for you. It gets down to 9% in 10 years. So who said they were doing it for 10 years? You said 10 years? I love that. Because you know what that means?
That's right.
You know what that means right here? From this number to this number? Don't look at it in a pessimistic way. Look at it in a wonderful way. That means I don't have that many competitors anymore. They fell off. I'm still here. Everybody else, they knew on the block. I got this. Because it's down to 9% now, and you're a part of that 9%, and you've exceeded 10 years. 55% success rate in the educational and health service sector. You'll be a part of the minority. Guys, it's going to be awesome in here. Look at the numbers. Look at your vision. You guys are going to get where you want to go. Start right here. Start right here. See, when you enjoy what others can't do, it's because you did what others wouldn't do. So I just threw up some things that I like, you know. If it's gonna be this, or if it's gonna be that, or if it's gonna be that,
Yes.
or if it's gonna be like, I'm ready on the road right now. Whatever it is. I had to bring Tim and Joe along, and we, knock a couple balls into the, Yes, ma'am.
I don't see how you're going to get Carmen and Jude in that car.
No! My car. I'm done with that. We're gonna take a break, and then when we come back, Mr. Clint Boyd and Miss Elaine Boyd, they're gonna come and they're gonna speak to us. They're gonna take us to another level. All right? You gotta take a 5.